We're ending 2023, and pivot points like this are important. As Jewish people, we put a mezuzah on the door, and you think about the idea that it's not looking at a room, it's looking at the liminal, the space between rooms that matters to us. If you're a Jewish realtor, you're probably walking through showing people rooms, but really the Jewish realtor in some way should be saying, look at this doorpost, and this doorpost, and this doorpost. So I'm not advising realtors, but I'm getting us to think, hopefully, about transition points, because that's what these doorways are in our lives. And I think the beauty, the wisdom of Judaism is it says, notice even those points, realize what you can make of them, how they could be transformative for you. So as we approach a new year, it's always a chance to think about what we have endured and experienced and what we take into the year ahead, not just our hopes, but also our strengths. And I hope that one of the things that comes out of this last year is a greater sense, a great sense, a profound sense of unity and the importance of being together for each other, of showing up for each other. I'm seeing people turning up to discussion groups, synagogue classes, services like never before. People I don't often see are back. People are realizing the value of getting out of the house, turning the news off, and showing up for each other. That's good. So that's one thing. Another is our sense of our own strength and our resilience. And I think we're already seeing after the October 7th attack and the ensuing war that we're having to think about who we are. And one of the things that we know about ourselves is we are a resilient people. Otherwise, there is no way that we would still be around and identifying as Jewish people and living Jewish lives. So think about that resilience. Resilience in physics means the ability of something to regain its strength and form. So if it's a ball and you throw it against a wall, a portion of that ball, no matter how hard it is bent and changed by the experience. And its resilience is measured in its ability and speed to return to its former strength and size and shape. So you are that ball. You go into the new year, hopefully with a greater sense of, yes, certainly having been banged against the wall. That happened, and that happens in every year of life, not just with this kind of drama of what happened in Israel and what's occurred since around the world, but being alive. That's being bounced against a wall numerous times. I want to tell you a story, and the story is really to say that our resilience sometimes just comes from our perspective of seeing that things have a way of turning out in a way that is positive. And sometimes the dramas of our lives are the things that give us the greatest resilience and the greatest strength, and sometimes even the greatest safety and security. This story isn't one from the news of 2023. It's from the time of Rabbi Akiba. And Rabbi Akiba was said in this story to have had traveling with him always a lamp and a donkey, and in this case, a rooster as well. You can ask yourself why, but they all have purpose. So on this particular night, he went to a town, he arrived there, and he wasn't able to find a place to stay. So he was obviously dejected. He left the town, he went out into the open fields, and he spent the night there. And during the night, a great wind blew and came in and shut out his lamp, extinguished the light. And somebody stole the rooster, and a lion came and devoured the donkey. That's a lot in one night. But the next day, Rabbi Akiba found out that that town had been pillaged. It had been robbed in the night. So he was actually saved from that, having had nothing that identified him by sound or sight in the night. We all have these experiences in our lives. We all have the moments that seem so difficult and so unfair, and yet the wisdom of wisdom is to realize that sometimes in those moments and in those experiences are blessings. I hope you take blessing from this message, and I hope you realize the blessing that you are to one another, and you share that blessing with one another generously in the new year.